Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here. Welcome to another episode of RIFFSTARTER, where I help you play your favorite riffs from day one by removing all of those annoying speed bumps and roadblocks that get in your way and slow you down. So, all the strategies can be found in my best-selling book, Practice Less, Play More. And if you want to play your favorite riffs, songs, and solos on the same day that you start them, definitely check out playfromday1.com. And this is actually this is the first episode where I'm broadcasting with my new computer. Hopefully the whole thing doesn't explode, but I think it is way smoother. I think the quality is way better. And I am very, very excited for today's episode. So welcome. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and let me know you're there. Awesome. And Mike, how's it going, buddy? Yes, great choice. Yes, you inspired this episode. So today we are going to be talking about Even Flow by Pearl Jam. And this is a great riff. I mean, classic riff, recognizable. Anyone who listened to music in the 90s, they would recognize this riff. And I want to show you a few things, a few reasons why this riff is a little bit tricky, even right out of the gate. So let's get right to it. Again, I hope this computer doesn't explode, but let's get right to it. So check this out. So the tab over here, there are a few things inside this tab that are actually a little bit strange. So first of all, the tuning is all over the map. So we've got open D tuning, and then guitar 2 and 3 have drop D tuning. And so, if you miss that point and you look at the tab and you miss that this guitar number 2, let's say, is drop D, but then guitar number 1 is open D tuning, then some of this stuff might not sound the way that you think it should. Like maybe you might think that, okay, so cool, you see this first, and so D-A-D, F-sharp A-D, so you do that, and then when you play this, all this stuff here on the top line, maybe you just don't even realize that that's supposed to be guitar 2, and like right out of the gate, it's just, there's a roadblock right there. Now, let's just assume that you're in drop D tuning, because you see, okay, cool, drop D tuning, and then you see this part here, this tab over here, the guitar 1, which, again, this is supposed to be open D tuning, but like, do you see how all the stuff I'm explaining right now, how it's kind of like confusing and convoluted? This is the problem with a lot of tabs is, it might be accurate to what's on the record, but it could really derail you. And if you're not paying attention to details and if you don't know what to look for. So check this out. So let's just say you're in drop D tuning. Okay, cool. I'm in drop D. And then you see the first instruction. So this is how a lot of guitar players will approach the song, at face value. So they'll see 15, then they'll go 5 to 7, then 3, 0. Okay, so cool, I'm gonna try this first bar. And even just from the first bar. So you try going like 15th fret, slide, okay? 15th fret slide. I'm just gonna start with clean here. Okay, so you do 15th fret slide, okay? And then you have to get right into, what does it show there? It shows the 5 to 7. So sliding from 5 to 7. So you're sliding down from 15, and then you got to go from 5 to 7. So that's just like slipping on ice. Like, for example, so you got to get that going, and it's not the hardest thing in the world, but getting right into the riff after a 15th fret slide like that, it might be tricky. Okay, and so what we want to do, we want to make sure that we can play this riff on the same day that you started. So play it from day one. And very often what happens is these tabs, if we go face value, even if we go slowly, like, so we're not even playing up to speed. So maybe we might go like, and then you do the pull off 3, pull off, open, and then open here. So you do these 2 notes here, and then 6, 5, 3, pull off to open. Okay, so maybe just focus on that one bar, and then you're doing the next part. Now here's the problem, is that doesn't sound like music, and that's a big problem because it's very important that it sounds like music on day one. If you've been watching this show, you know that. This is the part of the audience is like, instead of trying to match your current skill level to the riff, like it's like, then we hear back, it's like, match the riff to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. Okay. So all the nonsense that I was just talking about there, like face value, all that stuff is just going to slow you down. And what you want to do instead is you want to take this riff, you want to match it to your current skill level. That might be novice, might be beginner, might be intermediate. Whatever it is, it's matching it to your current skill level, and that's how you play from day one. And then from there, you upgrade until it sounds like the record, okay? Now, I'm saying until it sounds like the record, not necessarily what Stone Gossard played or like exactly what's on the record or exactly what's on the tab, because it's very, very important also that you play what you hear. Okay, this is a very, very important part when you're playing guitar, because guitar is not about getting all the little tiny details. Being a guitar player is all about playing in musical time and sounding good. Okay, so that skill, if you're always playing riffs like this, where you're going like, and you never play it, like you're actually just practicing it and going through the moves like that, then you're not developing into a guitar player. What you're doing is you're just like an information processor. You're like a data analyst with 6 strings over here. Like, it's not really guitar playing. Guitar playing is, okay, so cool. How do I take this riff and how do I play it in a way where, first of all, it sounds like the song? And now that might not be obvious to you. I mean, like I said, like, check out playfromday1.com. If you need some help with this, then this is what I do. I help exactly with this specific strategy, is helping you to take a song and simplify it down to your level, and then build it up from there to what it sounds like on the record. So what we're gonna do, so we already got over the confusing instructions on here on the tab. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna like take a look at, maybe we could like relocate some stuff. Like, one part that when I was playing this riff that was tricky was this part here, where it's like this little move here, because if we take away a lot of that stuff there, then really what's happening is like it's like this little move here. And then this riff, we do want to have some of it, if not all of it, but a lot of it has to do with this. So even if I was going to sing it, bum 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 bum, dum dum dum, and then the riff, da 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 dum dum dum, or then the lick, da 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 dum dum dum. So it's kind of like what this riff sounds like. That's the essence of it. You want to capture that essence, okay? It's very important you capture the essence, because even if you're kind of like faking it a little bit, play along with the record, then that's going to be, again, for your development as a guitar player, it's way more important that you do that. So if you play, like, for example, I'm going to get into some specific moves that I'm doing here, but that already is getting me playing music, even if you're playing it slowly. So like, even if you're playing it slowly, you're playing still something that's in musical time, and that's so important as a guitar player. You got to develop that skill, not like processing all this data on the tab. Okay, now I want to give you some ideas there. So that was relocation, and it's also subtraction. So I'm not playing all the moves. Like, all the moves would be this. That's all the moves, and I just switched it to like. What I actually did was I actually took out a lot of the notes there and used a lot of legato. So I'm actually, instead of, so I'm subtracting some pick strokes. So like on that riff, I'm just playing once. Just pull-offs. Okay, so that's like one way to do it. Now another thing you could do is just go like, pull off like that. Like, you don't have to play every single note that's there. Again, it's just what capture the essence of it. Okay, so like this here, even if I did that, let's just say I played up to speed. That riff sounds enough like even flow that I can at least, I have my version for today, from my day one version, okay? And then from there, I could always upgrade. And I'm basing it off of actual music rather than like data, these little moves on the tab that are just confusing and frustrating, okay, and overwhelming. Like, I'm not saying never play this, what's on the tab, but play this after you've had the experience of playing the song, and then go in and like, oh, what can I refine here? Okay, cool. Well, I played these notes here. I played these as legato. Like, this was all pull-offs. I just picked the 6th fret. I pulled off to 5, pulled off to 3, pulled off to open. Maybe now I'll do some picking in there just to give it a little bit more definition, that kind of thing. Like, that's the logic behind it. So that's one thing that you could do there. Now, yeah, I mean, that's just like, there's just so much stuff going on there. So I wouldn't recommend doing that version from day one. I would go like either either play the full 6-5-3 open, or I would do 6-5 open. But all I'm doing here, so because the note on the tab was I played the open D string, the open D. I'm just relocating that open D to the 5th fret and doing a hammer on. So I'm going like open, pull off, and then hammer. And then I'm doing either this, a little pull off, double pull off, or triple pull off. Okay? Now, either, like any of those will work. You just match it to your current skill level and then play it from day one, and then you could build up, build up, build up. But now on this part here, like on the riff, it's on the riff we see, or on the tab I should say, it's pick, 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 pull off, pick, pick. Or actually, sorry, no, this is the one here. This is down here. Pick, 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 pull off, pick, pick. Yeah, I mean, that for some people that could be like right away you'll get that. For other people you'll be tackling that and like struggling for weeks, and then maybe you're playing everything else. And then that slows you down. It's a big time speed bump, okay? We don't want that. What we want is we want to make sure that you can continue to play, and so we match it to your current skill level. So, okay, maybe you have to slow down the whole thing. You slow everything down to like 85% speed, but you can play it smoothly, all in time. Okay, and that's what you have to experience as a guitar player. Your muscles have to experience that coordination of playing in musical time and getting comfortable with that and honoring that musical time, that pulse. It's everything. Okay, so what I would recommend is just add legato, like add pull-offs and hammer-ons anywhere you can. So this would be like, let me go here, pull off, hammer. So yeah, so it would be basically, it would be pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pick, hammer. So it's basically pick, legato, pick, legato, pick, legato. So actually, and that's cool because what you'll do is if you put a pick on every first one, there's a set of 2, so it's basically it's a pair. We have pick, then legato, pick, legato, pick, legato, pick, legato here. Then what you can do, that actually your pick will end up going doing quarter notes. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. So that's a way to keep it actually in time. Okay. Now, if you want, you could also do minimal pick. So it's just literally every new string, or even only 2 picks. Okay, you could do that. Or I'm going to give you one more option here, and then we're going to wrap up. But what you could also do is just reimagine the melody. Who cares if you do it exactly like the record? You can go like this. Okay, so you go pull off. So 5-3 open, and then so pick, pull off. So let me go clean here so you could hear me. Pick, pull off. So the open string, which isn't technically the melody, but it still sounds good. It's in key. And then pick, pull off, and then pick, hammer. So I'm going 5-3 open, 6-5 open, 3-5, 5-3 open, 6-5 open, 3-5. So that sounds close enough to it. But it's like only because you only use 2 fingers on each part, it's actually way faster. No one's gonna hate on that. No one, even if you perform this live, no one's gonna hate on that. Or if you go, they sound so similar. It sounds so similar, and that's the point here, is just make sure that you're playing something that sounds like the song, something that captures the essence of the song, and also gets you playing in musical time. It's so important. Instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, which most people do, playing with the record, or playing exactly with the tab, left to right, every single detail, and getting derailed. Match the riff to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. From there, you upgrade until it sounds like the record, okay? But first, make sure you have that day one version, because if you're struggling with the tab for weeks and weeks and weeks, like what's the point? What's the point? You're not playing any music. It's not helping you as a musician. So you have to experience music first, and then you upgrade from there. And what's crazy is it seems like it's more steps, and it'll take way longer, and it might be more steps, but it won't take longer. It'll actually take you a lot faster, because every single step builds on the previous step, which was musical, and so you're building on that foundation, and it's way better. So in my 20 plus years of experience of performing and coaching and just so many different things that have to do with music, playing from day one is the most important element. Okay, so I wanted to just leave you with that. Let me go back here and cool. And I see, oh yeah, yeah. And Mike's saying, and the album is a quarter of a step up from standard. Yeah. So even that detail of the tuning, there's just tabs could be so confusing and so frustrating that yes, they have their place for sure. They're a documentation of what the riff kind of looks like visually, but even Stone Gossard doesn't play the riff exactly like that every single time. Okay, so you have to realize these things. Now, instead of we're approaching 20 minutes over here, so I'm going to keep this nice and short. We're going to wrap this up. But again, instead of trying to match the riff to your current, or instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, match the riff to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, if you want to play your favorite riffs, songs, and solos from day one, so the same day that you start them, doing everything that I just said, and then learning how to upgrade from there until it sounds like the record, definitely check out playfromday1.com, and we will see you in the next episode of Riff Starter. Take care.